No one wants to get hacked, and as your friend and cybersecurity expert, I'm going to share my number one tip to help you protect your online accounts. If you're looking for advice on how to protect you and your family online, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. I upload once a week. I also teach virtual classes for teenagers ages 11 to 16 on how to be safe online. If you're interested, that link is in the description box as well. Let's do this. So I've been in cybersecurity for about 15 years now, and that's a long time. In that time, I've seen a lot go wrong. And you'll be really surprised to know that my number one tip is not super techy, is not difficult at all. My number one tip to help you protect your online accounts is very simple. Change your passwords. That's it. Change your passwords. You'll be so surprised how something so simple leads to a mountain of issues. And I say a mountain of issues because a lot of these breaches that you see in the news, like the big ones to include the Columbia pipeline situation from May of 2021, it happens as a result of a hacker getting one password. Not a trove of passwords, not 50, not 100,000, million, trillion, whatever. One compromised password was all it took to shut down access to an entire East Coast. I know I felt it when it happened. I'm on the East Coast, but truthfully, it shut down access to half of the country. Half of the country. Could you imagine being that employee that had the compromised password? Like, how would you feel as a human? How would that make you feel to know, oh my goodness, because my password was compromised, these airlines couldn't operate because they couldn't get gas? What? Are you serious? Oh, because my password was compromised, yeah, these people were panic buying and filling up plastic bags. Not even like the true, like, you know, the grade of container that you're supposed to have for gasoline, petroleum, all that stuff like that. No, people were out here filling up water bottles. And not even necessarily because they could not get the gas, but because they were panic buying because they knew that other folks down the road could not get gas. Something that small led to an entire half of a country having the issues that they were having getting gas. Whether that was because they actually could not get gas because it was a ransomware attack that shut the systems down, or they were just panic buying and just completely panicking, thinking, oh my goodness, at some point we're not going to get gas. Let me fill up as much as I can now. And at this point, you're probably like, okay, girl, we get it. Why are you talking about this Columbia pipeline situation? Because it's big. Think about what would happen if your accounts were shut down. Think about what would happen if you all of a sudden had no access to your email, to your bank accounts, to your security system in the house. You really got to consider that. Today, we have apps for everything. We have accounts for everything. Even the baby monitoring has some sort of an app that if for some reason it gets compromised, well, maybe now someone creepy person could be looking at my kid while they sleep. That's not weird at all, right? It's terrible. And it's not saying any of this to scare anyone, but it's to prepare you for the possibilities of things happening. These are all individual accounts that need to be given the same level of care that you would give the most important, most valuable things in your life, because these accounts are giving people access to the most important, most valuable parts of your life. There are 3 tips that I have. You have to have really good password management in order to keep your accounts from being hacked. And that means having strong passwords, change them every 60 to 90 days. I know that can be a lot, but it's necessary. And also using 2-factor authentication. Picking a strong password is really important. You want to make sure you do uppercase, lowercase, a number, special characters, and that is a pretty lengthy password. I'm going to show you why that's important. There's this chart by security.org that I like to reference. It shows you just how quickly your account can be hacked, and you'd be surprised to know that there are some passwords that can be hacked instantly. If you have a password that's a combination of lowercase and uppercase letters only, and it's 7 characters long, it can be cracked instantly. It gets a little bit more difficult when you start to incorporate at least one number, at least one symbol. So it goes from 1 to 6 minutes, depending, as you can see in the chart. Or if you just completely step outside of that and make sure that you use a variety of uppercase, lowercase, special characters, numbers, you can see that it goes super long. It goes from 1 minute, it goes from instantly to 1 minute to 3 days to 7 months to 41 years to 2,000 years. And that is a long time. So this chart is referencing people who are using tools to crack passwords. Hackers are not necessarily trying to crack passwords on a regular basis. They do. And that's why it's important to make sure you use a strong password, because it's not that hard when you have the tools to do it. And it doesn't take that time and effort when you have a tool that you can do it. And trust me, hackers are out here with the best and the finest and the fastest computers to do whatever they want to do. So you don't want to take that chance. However, I do want to bring up the point that cracking passwords is not your only issue. You also have to worry about getting your passwords compromised by way of phishing and social engineering. So that'll be another conversation. If you're interested in hearing more about phishing, leave a message in the comments below. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication is pretty much that token that you get on your phone. It's a couple of things. It can be something that you know, which is a passcode that you get from a text message on your phone. It can be something that you have, which is a particular dongle that you plug in, which people don't really do that anymore. They typically have the extra app on their phone to show them like a verification code. And it's something that's always on the app. It's not the text message thing. And then the other part is it's something that you are. So it's something that you know, something that you have, and something that you are. And that something that you are, which could be your second factor authentication, is your biometrics. So whether it's a retinal scan, a fingerprint, something like that, that will help to give that extra layer of security to your account. So not only do you have your password that should be super long and complex, as we've already discussed, but you'll also have that second factor authentication, that other piece of information to verify your accounts. So I highly recommend you enabling two-factor authentication on everything that you have, because you don't want to rely on just one means of protecting your account. The bonus tip for you all: never, ever, ever reuse your passwords. I know it's tempting. You have so many passwords. You've got so much in your mind, so much to do. It's really hard not to use passwords, especially if you have a really, really good one that you know, it's like one of those super juicy passwords that you really don't ever want to change because it's so complex and it's so good. Yeah, don't reuse your passwords. When you do that, it opens up the doors to a whole lot of disaster. If you get one password compromised in one area and you're using that password for something else, you can trust and believe that the hackers are going to find out and they're going to shut you down. If you found this content helpful, hit like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. I upload on YouTube once a week. See you in the cyber streets.